So today we will work together on quite a simple project if you already mastered cubic right angle weave stitch. We will be doing just a different version of it. I want to show you how this stitch looks with different beads. We'll be working with Czech pressed bicones in 4mm size. This stitch I like it very much because you can change it up just that with any different bead. So you will use Czech fire polished, you will use pressed bicones, you can use crystal bicones and give it a lot of bling. Today we will be working with the pressed bicones, which are made in Czech Republic, and seed beads, a size 11 Miyuki, and then you will need one cup button because you will be creating a bracelet. You can make it into a bangle very simply. You will just connect both sides. So that's it. We'll be working with size 12 needle. You can use also size 10 because we will be going just a few times through each seed bead, and then you will use wildfire thread. Here I worked with Miyuki thread, which is on the rather fabric side, and it's very slinky. I mean, it's okay-ish, but on the wildfire thread I have a sample piece here. It's much sturdier and I would recommend something like wildfire rather than Miyuki thread. It is okay, but still, it's much also easier to work with the wildfire on this. So let's start. Add a piece of thread, pick it up into your needle, and we will be doing first 4 beads. So pick up 4 11-0s, which will be the bottom of each cube and the top of each cube. On the sides, on the side edges, we will be picking the crystal Sliperit 4mm Czech pressed bicones. So I have here my first 4 beads. Keep a very long tail. Like very long, I mean 30 to 40 centimeters, because you will then use it for the loop for your cup button. So you don't have to add any much more thread on the beginning. We will use the long tail. So keep it like this and go through the first bead with your needle. And this is the bottom of your first cube. If you didn't do cubic right angle weave stitch before, I recommend watching Ellie's video on how to master this stitch. I'll be going a bit faster, so try maybe first with just one type of beads and a big one. For example, the 4mm fire polished beads. Those are very good for learning cubic right angle weave stitch. So we have something like this. Now we'll be moving over from our bottom of the cube to the sides. So pick 1 pressed bicone, 1 seed bead, 1 bicone, and go to the same bead you started from and pull. So now you bend it, and this is the first side of our cube. So let's move over to the second one. So continue to the second bead in our bottom, pick up 1 pressed bicone, 1 seed bead, and go through the top of the bicone, which was already there, and then through the bottom bead again. This is our second side. Go through the third bead in the bottom, pick up again 1 pressed bicone, 1 seed bead, go through the bicone that is already there and through the bead you started from. Now I would recommend use your finger and position the bicone so you don't get these loose gaps of thread between the beads. They just need a little help to adjust to the seating. And finally, last bead. So go to the last bead of the bottom. And now let's turn the beadwork. And now when you have it like this, go up through the bicone from the first side. Then pick 1 11/0 and go down through the bicone from the third side, through the seed bead in the bottom as well. And now to finish up the cube, we need to connect the 4 new seed beads at the top. So go up through the bicone and finally connect the beads at the top. And you finish in the one you started from. And that is cube number 1. It has a very nice, I like looking at it from the top as well. It has a nice view to it. So now let's make cube number 2 and let's go faster. So pressed bicone, seed bead, pressed bicone, going from the other side through the bottom bead, adjusting the bicones, moving over to the second seed bead in the bottom, picking up 1 bicone, 1 seed bead, going down through the previous bicone and the bead we started from the other side, pulling, adjusting the bicones, going to the third seed bead in the bottom, picking up bicone, a seed bead, going down through the bicone and through the seed bead you started from the other side, finally turning and going through the fourth and last seed bead in the bottom, going up through the bicone because we already have all 4 in there, picking up 1 seed bead and going down through the bicone on the opposite side and the seed bead you started from. And to finish the cube, I'm turning the beadwork, going up through the bicone and connecting all the beads at the top. And this is all there it is to it. It is just another version of cubic right angle weave, which looks a bit different than with just seed beads or just beads of one type. So we are mixing up seed beads and Czech pressed bicones. So continue like this until you reach the length of the bracelet you need. You can also create a necklace from it. It looks quite nice, I must say. On the wrist it looks like this. So continue, and at the ends we will add a loop and a button, and that's it. After reaching the desired length of your bracelet, it's time to prepare a cap button. So this is the side where we will add it. So my thread is coming out of the 11/0, one of those, doesn't really matter which one. Then I need to pick up an 11/0 and I will go through the same 11/0 from the other side. So now I have 2 11/0s on top of each other. Now I will go to the opposite 11/0 to the one I started from in the base. And I will go through the added 11/0 and down to the bottom. So now I have 1 11/0 sitting on top of the 4. I will go up to it. Now I will pick 2 11/0s. Then I will pick a cap button. Then I will add 3 11/0s down through the cap button, through the other hole of course. There I will pick 2 11/0s and I will go through the starting 11/0 sitting on top of the 4, but through the other side. So now I should have something like this. Now go back through the pair of 11/0s back to the cap button You can skip the 3 11-0s here because it's quite difficult to go through them again. Just go directly to the second hole of the cap button. The thread will hide underneath the 3 beads there. And through the 2 11-0s in the back and to the one in the middle. And down through one of the sides and back to the bracelet. So this is the side with the cap button. Then go somewhere to another of the thread and then add a needle to the other side. To the tail we kept longer, and there we will add a loop. I usually do cap button first, loop later, because I can easily adjust the number of the beads according to the actual cap button and the way it is attached to the bracelet. So now I am ready to cut my wildfire, and I can move over to the other side to add the loop. And here on the other side I did the same like we did for the cap button. So I prepared the bead here on top of the 4, and then I added to my thread 26 11-0s, and now with this one it means we have 27. So go through the one here from the other side, so we have a loop. Now go through the whole loop 2 or 3 times. Just test it for your cap button. I usually have the issue that it is nice and then I go through it 3 times and then I can't get it over the cap button. So test it well before you cut the thread. So now I went twice. I will test it with my cap button, and it's lovely. So I will go down, back to the bracelet itself again, and like I did on the other side, I will knot off the thread and 1, 2 through the loop. So what I did is find a thread between 2 beads. Here it's pretty simple with CRAW. Create a loop, go 2 times through it and pull, and go through several beads to get away from the knot and hide the knot as well, like this, and cut the thread. I have a wildfire burner somewhere here, but without batteries, so sorry, I'm struggling with my sharp but not so sharp anymore scissors. So this is it. This is the Bicone bracelet, which is a lovely design. You can stack them on top of each other, create a rainbow on your wrist, your personal little rainbow. So this is it. Thank you very much for watching my Stackable Bicone bracelet video for this addictive, slinky little bracelet with seed beads and pressed bicones. Of course, for some extra bling you can use Potomac crystal 4mm bicones. If you need any of those materials, look below me into the description box. There are the links if you need to purchase something. I'll be looking forward to seeing your pictures in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. And I see you in the next one. Bye bye!